Nope. Alright. It's up to you individuals to interact however you see fit. Marcus, there's a bit of fluttering under your bed apron.
I'm going to open up the I'm going to open up the bed apron.
Right, you lift open the apron that's hanging off the edge of the bed. Look down there. It's a bag of heroin.
Nope. Can't be real. Nope. How big of a bag of heroin are we talking here?
Oh, it's small that you could easily put it in the palm of your hand and completely close it and hide it.
Hmm. That's a lot. That's a decent amount of heroin. You could make some money off of that. If it's real, which I don't think it's real.
Looks real sitting there, Ned. Maybe you should pull it out for a closer look.
Is that my conscious talking to me, or the little girl acting like my conscious?
Just, How can you get a good angle of looking at it there? It's so dark underneath the bed.
I think Marcus is just going to ignore it for now. He'll come back to that later. If it's still there when he gets back, well, we'll deal with it then.
Lowering the bed apron and then rising to his feet, Marcus takes a look at his arm, and his arms, rather, are covered with all sorts of pock marks, needle scars from where he stuck it in and tore the skin.
This is new. Well, old, but... Oh god. I'm going crazy, aren't I? I'm going to call Joseph, if the phone hasn't turned into anything.
The phone is a phone.
I'm going to dial Joseph.
Hello?
I think I'm going crazy.
Oh, well, that's bad. Probably.
Yeah, quite. Yeah, look, you're not to sound offensive or anything, but you're a Malkavian. You kind of deal with crazy. Um, it feels like when I'm outside, it feels like I'm back in Vietnam.
There's a cool gust of wind that blows through the bedroom, ruffling Marcus's hair.
Feels like I'm back in Vietnam. I looked under my bed when I woke up this evening. There's a bag of heroin underneath there, and my arms are covered in pockmarks like I was injecting heroin.
The apron lifts next to Marcus's leg, and looking down, Marcus can see the little baggie waddling on either of its corners towards his leg.
And now the bag is walking. The bag of heroin.
Well, then the bag's probably not real.
I know that, but I can see it moving.
Okay, we should probably deal with this as soon as possible then. Go ahead and go down to the Majestic, and I'll meet you there.
Okay. Okay.
Don't go inside. Just hang around out front or something, and
Okay.
I'll meet you there.
I'll try not to do anything stupid.
Yes, please do. I'll be there as soon as possible.
Okay. Well, with that, Marcus is going to try to tell himself that everything that he is seeing right now is probably fake.
Okay.
And that door probably not real.
Yeah.
Just everything is fake. He's gonna walk to the Majestic.
So, As Marcus ends up leaving his apartment and begins the walk along the city streets, he finds himself narrowly dodging, sticking a hand out between two lines of an iron bar fence is a gnarled, bloodied hand, soaked in blood. One finger missing, the ring finger, the other one half cut off. Looking at it, appears to be some sort of army private, blonde hair, face a complete wreck, as it were smashed with some sort of mortar bomb. You know, uh, you know, fleshy parts hanging out, exposing the jaw and the ruined teeth. A raspy voice, "Don't leave me."
Just gonna keep walking.
And you know what this is? The perfect time for Byron to call you on the phone.
All right.
For reals?
Yeah, no, that's actually what I was going to do today or tonight before you started all of this. Byron woke up. He's very chipper today. He is very happy and very much in his Ventru element, and he'll call you up. So if you answer,
Hello?
it'll be fun. Hey, Marcus, how you doing? Great. Do you want to do some more training today? I'm thinking it'd be a great thing to do.
Come back.
I'm kind of busy tonight, Byron. I'm doing things with Joseph.
Oh, well, that sounds fun. That's kind of a change. What happened with the Nosferatu?
I don't know. He's doing Nosferatu things.
Please don't go.
Marcus is continuing to walk down the street as he talks. Well, walk on the sidewalk.
It gets dimmer and dimmer. Help me.
So I don't think tonight's a good night to practice anymore. Yeah, to practice tonight anyways. Yep. Practice tonight. Yep.
All right. Well, have super funsies with Joseph. I got some stuff I could take care of.
I'll try to have fun tonight. He doesn't try to hide the sarcasm in his voice.
And Byron, it goes right over his head. He's already off the phone. Byron got none of that. He does not understand that you're in any sort of problem.
God damn it, Ventura.
Well, yeah. Okay. During that call, Joseph will have been calling up David, getting nothing, and now he's going to give a call to Byron.
Ring, ring, motherfucker.
Hey. I was just talking to Marcus. I hear you two are going to be, oh man, I can't think of the term, run around town tonight.
Actually, just the Majestic. And I was hoping you'd come there and help us with a little problem Marcus is having.
Problem? Well, he didn't say anything about that when I talked to him a couple minutes ago. Is it really a big deal?
I'm not quite sure how big a deal it is yet. It's probably best if he informs you of the more specific details. So if you'll just go to the Majestic, and I was hoping that the Nosferatu would be here to help, but the Nosferatu disappears at the drop of a hat. I need help finding things in the Majestic. And the more hands, the better. So just go ahead. I think he's already on his way. If not, he should be. If he's not there, then we probably got to go find him. He's a little bit off right now.
Sure. It shouldn't take long. You are just looking for charred wood and wood dry rot and that type of stuff, right? Not much else there.
Um, uh, I think he should probably inform you of the details.
All right. I didn't have much going anyway. I'll meet you all there.
And Joseph would like to lock the doors of the church and bring both of the schools with him.
Okay. That is certainly something that can be arranged for their master. Marcus, continuing to hustle down along the blocks, heading towards the Majestic. You hear a loud voice off in the distance, a commanding, imperious voice. Take cover! And then there's a low whistling sound.
Well, Marcus this time will actually dive into the nearest alleyway.
The building across the opposite street, a lovely office building, some sort of like attorney office maybe, is suddenly ignited with an overwhelming sort of a ball of fire, the shock wave of it pressing against Marcus's cold skin. The windows shatter out, the glass scattering everywhere, furniture and other bits being blown to pieces, brick from the siding of the building scattering out onto the street as a gulf of flame and energy rises up from the ruined ashes. And then Marcus blinks, and the building is fully intact. And there is no glass out on the street.
Hopefully no one saw me take that dive.
Your clothes are now muddied from the refuse and the rubbish in the alley. Or is it all in your head?
I'll just say it's all in my head until proven otherwise.
Marcus ends up arriving at the Majestic first. It's also quiet and tranquil. Although it seems that preliminary work beyond like simple measurements and keeping an eye out, Marcus thinks he's perceiving signs of construction. A saw's gotten out, all sorts of gear like moldings, paint, all sorts of stuff as they're going to begin the process of removing out all of the rot. Sledgehammers, crowbars, prying out everything that's completely of no use. And begin the slow process of restoring this place.
Once this place is done, it'll look pretty nice, I think. Maybe. Hopefully.
Are you? The voice sounds almost shy. Are you bringing me more company?
Wasn't my original intention.
Oh, there's no need to be modest about it. Byron arrives at the Majestic. It looks as dilapidated and run down and as complete eyesore in northern Astoria. Though, as Byron's been checking in, they're starting to begin the process of maybe starting this grand renovation work and not just drawing plans and analyzing architecture and getting the right permits, but actually putting your hands on a sledgehammer and doing something.
Yeah, he will definitely be paying a lot of attention to the construction going on, how it's progressing. And just a question, is Marcus all muddy from jumping across the street?
Marcus's clothes and his face as well are covered in mud, and there's a Twinkie wrapper sort of hanging off his right knee.
Right, so Byron will be just kind of walking along, and he's going to get within 5 feet, probably, unless Marcus says something first. And he is going to jump.
Marcus, you see a suave, smoothly dressed Byron Rand walk into the Majestic in his traditional "I'm so cool" fashion, walking, and his eyes look at you and they widen.
Let me guess, I'm actually dirty?
Jesus Christ. Joseph said you might be going through some trouble. I spoke to him right after I got off the phone with you, but I thought Evelyn got you a house or an apartment or something. You've been sleeping in the gutter?
No. I think I'm going crazy, Byron.
Byron will kind of lean back on his back foot and kind of raise an eyebrow. Really? Do tell.
I'm seeing shit, man. I'm seeing shit.
Okay. I don't know what I can do to help. Joseph said, well, let's just wait for him to get here. I mean, Byron is definitely confused.
I don't remember. Did Marcus tell Byron about the ghost?
I don't think he did, actually. Or maybe he did and I've forgotten. But I don't think he did. I think that after the last session, the only person that knew was David.
Yeah, well, Marcus will then mention this place was slash is sort of haunted by a ghost.
Of course it is.
Yeah, and now that ghost is haunting me.
All right, I get it. Yeah.
And she's sort of got it in her head that I'm bringing more people for her to bringing her more company, which is probably a bad idea.
Well, what's done is done, I guess. And I'll say right now, if Byron knew more about ghosts, he probably would just walk out the door, but he doesn't really. So say, all right, well, I'm sure it isn't as bad as all that. We can figure this out. I'm not sure what Joseph has planned, but I suggest we just wait around and see what he has to say, I guess. I'm guessing you went to him because you figured he would know how to help you best.
Well, he is a priest, right?
Oh, yeah. No, I would have suggested the same. Makes perfect sense.
Marcus can dimly hear the sounds of machine gun and rifle fire behind Byron outside of the Majestic.
He's going to visibly tense up at that sound.
And Byron is going to notice that because he kind of throughout the past few months he's relied on Marcus to perceive things before he does. He'll say, "What? Do you hear something outside?"
There's the sound of a small explosion and loud screams that are immediately cut that Marcus hears. Also feels the ground beneath his feet shake a little.
I'm hearing things. Things I don't like to know, like to remember.
Byron is just going to nod, not too emphatically, just kind of, the stare, slow nod you get from people that finally realize that you're batshit insane and don't want to make any sudden movements.
Marcus is just going to nod and try not to go crazy.
Marcus, as he's sitting there and Byron is just studying the environment, including Marcus, Marcus will hear a low voice coming from Byron's direction, sounding just like Byron. Fucking Toreador.
You say something?
Byron's like, I don't think so.
Okay.
Why? What do you think I said?
Nothing. Don't worry about it.
And Joseph and his ghouls arrive at the Majestic.
He'll park very close by. Probably can park right there in front of it. I mean, it's a dilapidated building.
Absolutely.
So, and everyone will get out.
Okay, everyone gets out.
So, well, obviously you were here first. DeMarcus, have you told Byron anything about, the situation?
I told him I'm going crazy and seeing shit, yeah. That pretty much sums it up.
Yeah, it seems to have gotten worse then. That is a bad sign. Byron, just to fill you in on the details, because I'm not sure Marcus is quite able to. Ghost, very dangerous. It's your choice or whether or not you want to help. Helping could be dangerous. Just being in the vicinity could be dangerous. So, if you want to stick around and help, great. If you don't want to, I can't fault you for it.
Define dangerous.
Well, you see the DeMarcus's differences from how he normally is.
Well, he does look like he took a nap in a mud puddle. And he certainly is reacting to things that I don't see or hear. That's something.
Twitchy, seeing things. Apparently not able to keep himself clean. I'm not quite sure if that is a difference.
Ouch.
So you see how he's acting differently. Well, not sure how to put it easily contagious that'll be. So if you would rather just not be in the vicinity, I can't fault you for that, and not risk anything, I certainly can't fault you for that.
Byron is going to give it a moment of thought. And what's going through his head is, it's like, all right, well, this is Marcus. He's not, his willpower is not the highest. That's kind of what Byron is thinking. It's like, all right, sure, he's getting fucked up by this. I think I can probably keep my sanity. No, I mean, because he still doesn't understand. I mean, it's just, so he's probably just, no. What do you need? The sooner this ghost is dealt with, the sooner we can move on, I think. And, more hands.
Deal with the important things happening in the city. Yes, okay. First thing, remain calm, period, at all times, no matter what happens, because that'll most likely benefit you. The basics is that, well, first thing I want to do is look for something that's attached to the ghost, something that the ghost has some kind of attachment to. With how long this place has been here, I'm very doubtful we'll find anything. I'm not quite certain on the full extent of your abilities. Do you think you could do any of your mind tricks with a ghost?
Byron's, I don't know. I've never heard of such a thing. I mean, I bet it's been tried in the past, but I've never heard of it. So I don't know.
Go ahead and give me, for you, Byron, an intelligence plus occult at difficulty 7.
Well, 3 successes.
You haven't heard any stories of Dominate being able to affect ghosts, and you don't think it could.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I don't think it works that way. I think you need more of a direct connection with the psyche of a, well, not necessarily living, but at least a corporeal being. This is, yeah, I don't think it works the same way.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting it. It was a long hope. Just as an FYI, I don't even know what powers you have off the top of my head, which is the only reason I asked. Then the only thing I can think about is looking, essentially just helping us tear through the entire building and looking for anything hidden that might have some attachment to a little, I'm assuming, Irish girl.
Okay. Here's something, and Byron, after thinking about it, he'll turn to Mark and say, about my powers. This is a question. If you lose control, or if you think you are going to, do you give me permission to try to settle you down using my powers at all?
Marcus just shrugs. Doesn't really matter if I give you my permission or not. You should just do it.
Byron will raise an eyebrow. As you say. If I think it warrants it, I'll do it then.
Okay, then the main thing Joseph wants to do is he wants everyone to help search for any hidden nooks or anything, but he wants to have Marcus along with him and be talking to Marcus and see if there's any way he can talk to the little girl more directly, asking him to talk to her, essentially trying to get anything more direct with her. And trying to get any kind of information out of her. The main thing he's looking for is name and whatever year she died or was born or anything like that. During that, he's going to be looking for any holes in the wall, anything that might have fallen in cracks, probably start downstairs because that's the most, or even if this place has a basement, looking for, I really have no idea what might be there that might act as an anchor, but anything that might act as an anchor.
Yeah, Byron was actually planning to go directly down to the basement. I'm just going to assume there's like generators for heat and that type of stuff. I mean, movie theaters need to have, you know, well, I don't know if they need backup power, but they probably need some sort of, who knows. Anyway, he's going to go downstairs and look, because his thoughts are that, well, if this girl died here and she was trapped here, the most logical place to put someone like that is in a cellar or a basement, so you can like chain them to a pipe or something.
Certainly so. In that case, we'll go ahead and have you guys do the rolls rather than me doing them for you. For those of you who have investigation, you can roll perception plus investigation at difficulty 8. For those of you who don't have investigation, I'll allow you to do a straight up perception roll at difficulty 8.
I botched.
I just failed, so.
2 failures and a botch.
You find all the things.
You all begin combing through the ruined Majestic, starting with the dilapidated basement where the water heater and, you know, you can see signs that, you know, used to keep storage and other such things around here were located, and then slowly working your way up through the ruins of where the foyer used to be, dipping into the rooms, the viewing rooms, and heading up to the second floor to check out the offices. This process ends up taking, we'll go ahead and say for a sort of thorough inspection, you guys are here until about 2:15, 2:20 in the morning. There's nothing you can find. Craig ends up at one point sort of like sifting through refuse, trying to find some sort of hidden crack or nook or cranny. You know, you find other sorts of like cardboard boxes where squatters long ago had made their residencies. Remnants of what used to be a popcorn machine. But unfortunately, all of your powers combined, you cannot locate any sort of like hidden cubbyhole where a bone or bones or any sort of suspicious belonging might be. Marcus, in fact, ends up sort of rattling on whole sorts of situations about, oh, I found this could be it. This is a, you know, it's a fingerless glove, and everyone else sort of looking like at it's like, no, that's probably not it. And Marcus is like, no, this is it. And eventually you're able to calm Marcus down, only then, you know, go up another floor. Oh, this is a pencil. This must be her pencil. This is totally it. No, that can't be it. No, you don't understand. It must be her pencil. And eventually have to talk Marcus down again. It seems Marcus, with his botch, is just sort of reaching for any sort of anchor that could be used to help him.
The only thing I could think of when you said the glove is that if the glove does fit, something.
No.
I don't know why I went to OJ.
I don't know either.
You know, it's a white girl. Why not?
It's a white girl. It's gotta be. Then the other thing during that time I wanted to do was constantly talk to Marcus and see if I can. I'm looking for a rise out of the girl. I'm hoping for, but I'm not expecting one. Some kind of reaction from Marcus through her, preferably. would be nice too. Basically just pestering pestering her, trying to get him to pester her.
And while you do that, Byron is going to look for if there's like a blueprint or floor plan or something that might show renovations that occurred, 50, 60 years in the past. And if he finds it, Byron will walk around and see if he can find those places and maybe search them again.
That is a very, very astute observation. There are certainly blueprints and plans from where the construction teams have begun moving in. Picking up one of the roles, Byron would know where they're located, as he's the process of funding the expedition. They're kept in one of the few remaining locked closet here. Rolling out and pulling out his flashlight, Byron will notice that over the passage of time, there was an addition that had been made to the basement, and in the process, the walls were reworked and. Actually, coming to look at the blueprint, was the room that big? Seemed like it was a little smaller when you guys were down there.
Well, then Byron is definitely going to go down there and try to search the wall that looks like it might be a false wall.
Checking out the blueprint and walking back down to the basement, Byron, with his super cool epiphany, it definitely does look like one of the walls of the basement. The extended long basement is slightly newer and made of a different type of material brick than the others. And the room as such seems perhaps a foot shorter than it should end up being.
Huh. With that, Byron is going to be extremely proud of himself. But he is going to go up, put the blueprint away, and he's going to say this takes, I don't know, 20, 30 minutes or so. So he's going to wait for Joseph to come to a stopping point with his questioning of Marcus and try to get him to come over alone, because he doesn't know what is going on with the ghost, but he figures the less the ghost knows about what he knows, the better. So
ends up being a complete bust. Any sort of cajoling or attempting to make contact with her through Marcus ends up resulting in Marcus actually doesn't have anything fucking with his senses unless Joseph's not real.
That is always a possibility. Well then, if Byron's trying to get Joseph's attention, he'll stop quickly enough if they've been doing that for a while, and they probably have, and he'll go ahead and ask Marcus to keep searching and go over to where Byron is.
Guys, I'm sure it's gonna be right. It's gonna be right in this room. I'm gonna find it. Just you watch.
Byron will nod with all seriousness and turn to Joseph like, come with me a sec. I have something that might be interesting.
Joseph will follow him.
Yeah, and Byron will say, while you were talking with Marcus, I actually looked at the blueprints, and very interesting. This room downstairs we were in before, it should be larger. And if you, and they're down there by this point, he'll point to the wall and say, if you notice, this wall doesn't quite fit in look or in size with the rest.
With Byron pointing that out, was something that Joseph had not noticed prior, but it's pretty obvious, shining the flashlight and just staring at it and comparing it to the wall on, like, say, another side perpendicular. Yeah, it's different.
Well then, I guess we've got to see what's inside it.
Right, that was my thought. I figured I'd bring you down here. Maybe there is some way in that we don't need to bust down this wall, and I thought more eyes trying to find maybe a latch or a loose brick or something Byron will go through all the cheesy movies. And actually, he saw a bit of those when he was at the, and so would Joseph, although Byron wouldn't know this, when they were at uh, the, the nightclub a couple nights before. Saw all sorts of ways you can get past walls.
In that case, with that in mind, if you two would like to perhaps look around the basement, perhaps looking for like some sort of secret latch or a soft rig that you can push in, Joseph can give me a perception plus investigation at difficulty 8, and I don't think you have any investigation, just a straight up perception at difficulty 8, Byron.
I get 1 success.
We each got 1 success.
Going through, taking a good amount of time, perhaps another 20, 30 minutes while Marcus is crying up, "I found it!" And then Craig and Rain are trying to calm him down. And Marcus ends up dropping the idea. You two are fairly sure there isn't any sort of secret latch or cubbyhole or button you can push unless it's so superbly well hidden that... I mean, it would be more like out of a spy movie than down here in the basement of a movie theater.
Yeah, with that, Byron will shrug and say, well, all right, if it's here, we can't find it, and I think we need to get this finished fast. What do you say you go back up and try to handle Marcus and maybe send Craig down, and Craig and I will try to get through this wall.
Sure. And he'll do just that. He'll go up and ask Craig to go lend Byron a hand with searching through some of the shit downstairs. Just keep searching around up here.
Okay.
And yeah, and when Craig gets down there, I mean, I'm assuming there's got to be, with the reconstruction going on, there's got to be a sledgehammer or two.
Definitely sledgehammers.
And Byron will try his best not to have to do it himself. He'll try to see if Craig can just knock it down on his own. But if Craig gives him incredulous looks or anything, I guess he'll take off his jacket and give it a few whacks as well.
It would definitely be best for the purposes of teamwork. For how strong Craig might be, he's no Herculean type, and you are applying sledgehammers to a brick wall, which has been settled here for quite some time. It will take quite a bit of time to actually blast a decent-sized hole through this.
Yeah, and all the while Byron's thinking to himself, man, Evelyn's going to be sad if I ruin this suit. Oh well.
It's not the easiest work environment, although there's plenty of space to swing. There is minimal lighting down here, although they've gotten the electricity rewired. Problem is that the lights sort of been sitting here for so long. Weren't the super guaranteed to last forever through all sorts of hellish conditions, and perhaps, maybe the earthquake or all sorts of crazy weather has fucked with them too. The wiring, they tend to flicker again and again. The flashlight's just sort of resting down on the floor trying to shine sunlight against the wall. But after quite a great deal of work, Craig is sweating, Byron isn't. A significant a chunk of this brick wall is removed, revealing, as Byron noted, apparently this sort of abscess is only a foot wide, and it just its length covers the length of this particular section of the basement. It actually is an abscess in that there's no sort of filler material at all. It was just a brick wall someone put up, and you can see the original wall a foot back.
Byron will shine a flashlight and see if he can see anything.
Shining the flashlight, there's all sorts of dust and debris from when you and Craig put the sledgehammer to the wall, the bricks that sort of cascaded down the back. Craig peers in with Byron, and the two of you, the ghoul lets out a little gasp. There's a nailed, or not really nailed, but affixed to the end of the wall so that it's actually looking out are two items. One is a small skull, human in nature. Byron is no bone analyst, but it looks like it could be a small child's, fractured along the crease of it, covering the brow. And it is tied to this point that's affixing it to the wall with a red and green and dust-covered, but once upon a time, a brightly decorated scarf. Looking to the left and to the right, there are perhaps a dozen or so others of these skulls, each attached and affixed with a scarf of its own.
Oh, goody. I think Byron actually says that. And look at Craig, just say, Jesus. All right. I think we found what we're looking for. If you wouldn't mind going and sitting Joseph down, I would appreciate it. I'm not sure what to do with this stuff.
Craig frowns. I think it would be for the best if you told Joseph about this. I'm gonna clean out some of the bricks so that it's maybe clear out the passageway so that one of us could actually get in there.
Byron is actually going to note his trepidation, and he's going to grimace as well. Says, "Oh, all right."
It doesn't seem like Craig wants to tell Joseph about the children's skulls hanging by scarves.
Right, and out of character, I know why, because but Byron doesn't know the particulars of Joseph's issues. Let me put it that way. So he doesn't. Yeah, but he's going to go up there. He'll leave slightly disgusted at Craig, but he'll leave anyway, and go up and find Joseph.
Joseph's probably back to bothering Marcus, trying to get any information he can out of the girl.
And Marcus has gotten sort of no response on his front, although he still keeps thinking, hey, I found it! And then Joseph just gives him a stern look, and, Marcus just grumbles and gets angry.
Are you sure it's not this leaf? It's gotta be this leaf. It wasn't here earlier.
I think that's enough. Byron?
Yeah, and lowering his voice, said, we have found some remains. Perhaps you should join Craig downstairs. I'm not sure what to do with it. I can stay with Marcus while you're down there.
Well, let me go look then. Okay. And Joseph will walk down there.
And as he's going, Byron will say, Craig seemed wary about telling you, so Just a heads up, you probably won't like what you see.
I didn't think I would from the beginning. And Joseph probably has the most stern, angry face you've ever seen him with.
Back down in the basement while Rain hovers near Marcus. Craig has used a sledgehammer to clear out a wider hole. Somber and sort of glances back, along his shoulder to see the two of you descending downward. He steps to the side.
Joseph will, well, he'll go look and probably not react for a very long while. Assuming he doesn't lose control, he'll
Joseph
Broad.
does manage to, it's sort of something that happened long in the past, and while his active imagination can fill in the blanks, he manages to keep in the sense.
Then he'll go ahead and it's all three of us down there, right?
Yep, you, Byron, and Craig, while Marcus is still puttering around for items and Rain's overlooking him.
He'll turn to the both of them and say, well, the only way to deal with this, I think, is to confrontation. I can't think of a way to make any kind of use of this without her knowing. Can you?
Byron will shake his head. No, I was afraid of that. I thought there might be some, and he's going to be kind of making fun of himself too. Like maybe some sort of incantation or something you could do to make it all go away.
If it was that easy. Well, Joseph will turn and head back upstairs.
Marcus, what you end up hearing is a loud call coming from outside. It sounds like Byron's voice saying, "Hey Marcus, come here. Think we got something."
But didn't Byron go downstairs?
You think he did?
Sounds like he's outside now.
Maybe he went outside when I wasn't looking.
Rain sort of shrugs at you. I thought he went out downstairs too, but...
Marcus is gonna, gingerly walk outside, wary of anything.
Rain follows. And, at this point... go ahead and, make a proper roll here. Okay. Now that he's outside, yeah, Marcus now feels the strange compulsion. Turn around. He looks at Rain. Only Rain's not Rain. Rain's now Sevalod Cerveni. The fiendish glittering eyes of the alien, soulless black pits staring behind at Marcus. And Marcus is going to need to make, with what is happening here, a courage roll, difficulty 8, or flee in terror.
Nope.
Botched. Byron, Marcus, and Craig, and will hear a loud, sort of violent scream coming from up on the ground floor above. As for Marcus, taking one look and seeing this horrific being, Vsevolod Cerveni, who apparently masterminded the creation of so much, just standing right behind him. Fuck it, he's alive again? Marcus is gone.
Well, Byron will have raced up the stairs at the first of the sound, so he'll run outside and I guess find Rayan still there.
She's apparently just picking herself back off the ground. Uh, uh, Apparently brushing some dust off of her. She says, Marcus he just looked at me and he screamed and he shoved me against the wall and he's gone.
That was not
Yes,
quite the
Byron will nod. Damn it. Is Joseph here yet, by the way?
Oh, almost certainly. He's probably there before you.
Right, that's what I thought. Did you see which way he went?
Rayan shakes his head. I wasn't expecting him to shove me that hard.
Byron will nod and say, all right, Joseph, unless you know which way he might have gone, I suggest we each go one direction. Maybe, hopefully, we can find him.
I did hear him scream, she furrows her brow. No, not you again. You won't take me. And then he was off.
Snowman, Vsevolod, any of the other giant freaky tentacle things we've end up running across?
Yeah, that narrows it down to half a dozen, I would say, things. But I guess it doesn't matter too much what or who he was running from, but where he was running. I mean, I guess we can canvass the few blocks around here. Maybe we'll find him hiding in a corner or something. I truly doubt it. We might just have to let him come home on his own, maybe. I mean, Byron isn't really even convincing himself.
Yeah, he's probably long gone, unless we pick the exact way he went, and he manages to run himself into a lamppost and knock himself unconscious somehow. Yeah, there's no way we're catching him. That said, the big thing I think we want to do is take care of those remains.
Definitely. We have to clean that area up. I mean, unless we want the police involved, we need to move. I wish we didn't have to, but we're going to have to move those remains so when the construction crew comes in, I mean, I'm sure we can get Evelyn to, I mean, we still have to pay them, but we can tell them not to come into work for the next few days if you think that something needs to be done, though. You're right.
You will have a little bit of time. Byron will notice that it is now currently Sunday morning, and they're not going to be working on the weekend. They're not getting paid to work on the weekend.
Nah. Byron would be surprised if most of them got there by 10 o'clock on Monday.
Well, I think we probably don't want the police investigating this. I don't think that they'd be. I don't think they'd be more helpful than what we can already get out of them.
No, I think that, yeah, you bring the police in here, they're going to want to confiscate it all and try to figure out who these people are. And from what you told me, we need some sort of totem to deal with this ghost. And I don't think anybody now working for the police department is just going to accept our word saying we need this skull or scarf or whatever. So yeah, I agree. No police, but you're the priest, and you seem like the authority on this. So what do you want to do with the remains?
For the time being, we'll collect them and gotta have somewhere to put them. And I guess we'll figure it out from there.
All right, there are a ton of trash bags inside. We can definitely try to separate each one into its own bag. It's kind of ignominious, but they have been sitting behind a false wall for the last 60 years. So, I mean, Byron is going to expect Joseph to object throwing remains into garbage bags. But if he doesn't, he'll be relieved.
The only reason I don't think he'd object is because I cannot come up with any better thing to do. There's nothing we can do in time to give them something more decent.
Right.
So I guess we'll probably set to gathering the skulls, putting them in separate trash bags, nails and everything that's attaching them, and everything into each with its own bag.
Yeah.
Alright, go ahead.
I was going to say, yeah, make sure the scarves go with the ones we think is skulls. And the first one that you saw looked like that one was special in some way, or maybe it was just the first one Grimith was describing that was attached
just
to
the
the
first
wall.
one. It just happened to be right in front of you guys from where you chose to break the hole in. All told, there was a dozen others beyond that, so there are a total of 13 skulls, each with its own scarf. The scarves are different colored. Each of them have a fracture in. Joseph is with his police background. It looks like they're the same area. It looks like a blunt force trauma, as if this individual, whoever was responsible, came up from the child from behind and hit them with a long cylindrical object, like maybe like a lead pipe or something. And each head was apparently, the craniums were neatly severed so that the skulls could rest there hanging by the scarf on their own little section of the wall. Jordan, um, Marcus, with Marcus, considering how dangerous things are here in New York City metropolitan area, if there were one place for him that he would think would be the absolute safest place he could go, where he would have the best shot at survival, or the best chance of protecting himself, where he'd feel the most safe or secure, where would that be?
Well, if you had asked me before we fought like the 10-legged creature thing, I would say Elysium. But since that thing happened there, nope. I'll have to give this some thought because I really don't know if he would consider any place safe now.
That's fine. It's something that you can think about then while Marcus is still running as fast as he can.
I'll suggest maybe that boat that you stayed on a couple nights that David showed you or had or whatever. Well, anyway. So yeah, I guess Byron will slowly and carefully try to separate out the remains and keep them as intact as possible and put them carefully into each bag, unless Joseph objects to anything, which I doubt he will.
No, that's certainly easy. There's no other body parts, no spinal cords, no finger bones, no rib cages. It's just the skulls hanging neatly, ensconced within the scarves.
Is there once the area is cleared out, is there anything else in that back area, like along the floor?
Just a bunch of dust and debris from when you guys took the sledgehammer to the wall. It doesn't look like there's any markings on the walls beyond what was used to affix the skulls and the scarves there. Any sort of ritual book or knife or lead pipe or anything.
All right, then. Well, I don't... once that's accomplished, Byron will be totally at a loss of what to do, except for clean himself up. That's pretty much first thing on his agenda.
Well, Joseph will go ahead and try giving Marcus a call.
You run into Marcus's voicemail.
Well, he'd probably try giving David a call too, but that'd be the same thing. I cannot think of anything else that's necessary, so it would be back to Flushing.
Before you go, Byron is going to suggest that maybe you hold on to the remains since you have your own place. Byron doesn't want to take him back to his place, that's for certain.
Oh, yeah, I thought that was a given. I'm the one that ends up storing all the dead bodies.
Right.
One thing I'd like to note, just while I have you here, she seemed to know that we found it, and she did not seem to like it. That's my guess, because he ran off just after we were coming up to get him to come down there. Which means that while we're in the vicinity, she probably knows what we're doing too.
Well, well, Byron wouldn't know that. Anyway, Byron will just say, yeah, certainly, I think we're going to have to set some sort of trap. We're going to need a safe room or something like that. And he doesn't mean the one necessarily that Joseph has, but just a room that is safe to set these things up. And if you're right about confronting them with this, we need to bring them in with her unawares.
Yeah, there's a number of different ways to go about it. I'm curious as the best. Well, I guess there's a lot of things I could try to read, but I'm not sure how useful. Well, I guess what time is it?
Checking the time, you folks have really spent a long time here. You're looking at about 3:23 a.m. right now.
Yeah, it's about as late as I like to stay out. I like to have it on a few hours. Like
right.
a few hours.
Yeah. I don't think we have anything to do but to just leave it for tomorrow. I don't think we're going to find him unless he wants to be found, and you just got to give it time, I guess. I do one question though. Do you know if perhaps this ghost has a greater connection maybe with just this place, and if we took the stuff to a different place, maybe she wouldn't be able to read our thoughts as well as she did here, or read our actions or whatever?
I have really no idea the extent of her abilities in that frame.
Yeah.
Even if I can guess, there's no way for me to be sure.
Yeah, Joseph Joseph would know with all the research that he did yesterday. It's possible that, she is tied to this place, as mentioned, or it's possible she's tied to one of the skulls, or it's possible she's tied to one of the scarves. As such, maybe by removing Marcus and keeping him out of the Majestic forever and ever. If she's really stuck in the Majestic, he'll eventually be free of her influence. Or it might just be one of the remains, the part of the remains that you've pulled out from within there. You don't know because you have no way to discern whether an object is hers or has her spirit or presence or not. That is beyond Joseph's abilities. That would have to be someone with, say, the necromancy discipline.
Yeah, Joseph would never recommend that, so unless someone else brings it up. So, unless there's anything else, I'll go ahead and, take these back somewhere secure.
All right. And Byron will collect his belongings, get his jacket that he left downstairs, and head back to his place, I guess.
Okay. Marcos. You've,
Jawohl.
it's, there's a massive fog slowly receding from your mind as you find yourself, last thing, you heard Byron's voice and you walked outside the Majestic and rain was apparently Sevalod Cerveni, which, that was probably just true. That probably wasn't real. Now you're standing by the water, and you can hear the gentle lapping of the waves of the ocean. And before you, there is a boat.
I recognize the boat, correct?
Yes.
I will get on the boat and, just sort of... I guess the word is curl up, I guess, and sort of, going, oh God, I'm going crazy.
Okay. Marcus also finds himself slightly hungrier. Mechanically, he is missing a point of VtM from his blood pool, but, he really did think that Sevalod Cerveni was right behind him. It would make sense that he would attempt to run away as fast as possible, and perhaps that's why the blood is gone. I edited the token. It's in the black still.
Okay.
They're still itching and sort of twitching at the sort of edges of what Marcus can see, memories from the past, but the sort of painful flashes that kept going in front of him, they aren't as extreme as, say, heroin raining from the sky. It's just sounds and smells and voices, just occurring sort of almost out of anything he can perceive, just right there. How long does Marcus plan on staying on the boat?
Well, what did he know roughly what time it was when he arrived at the boat?
Looking at the cell phone, it looks like you're looking at 4 a.m. right now. You also have a missed call from Joseph.
I think I'm just, well, is it the boat safe from the sun is the question I'm wondering.
I mean, you could say, I don't know exactly, the specifications of the boat, but if there's like an interior area that would be safe from the sun, then yeah. If not,
Then
then you'd
that's
have to
what-
wrap yourself up in canvas or something. I don't know.
That's what Marcus will do. He'll just stay here for tonight.
Okay. Byron manages to return to his haven without incident, as does Joseph, with the two stoic, silent ghouls in tow. It's a very somber moment, and as they have they sort of know Joseph's attitudes towards the affair. They're not interested in trying to broach any sort of conversational topic with him.
Yeah, I can't imagine they would be. That said, Joseph's going to do something that he's glad not everyone else is going to see. He's going to go ahead and put each of the skulls out so that they are separated, and not in his crazy room, in the storage room, and go ahead and just sleep in there.
All right. And for Byron?
Yeah, Byron is going to spend a few cleaning off the dust and such from his suit as best he can with a lint brush or whatever he's got. And then I guess he's going to sit down and mull over everything that happened in the previous few hours, and then go to sleep at the usual time, I guess. Because his thought process is, oh shit, what now? Why can't we go through like 2 days without something else screwing us over?
All right. In that case, little vampires ease themselves off to sleep. And the sun shines on a bright and beaming Sunday day. And I think we'll go ahead and take a break here for a few minutes if you guys need to walk away and grab something to eat or maybe entertain the chat with stories or spiders made out of spiders. I'll leave the recording going. Maybe you guys can discuss your plans and your thoughts about where to go from here out of character, since I know players like to do that. I'll be right back.
Jordan, you catch the comments about the stream lagging?
Yeah, it's my streamer key thing again.
Yeah, I figured it was probably Twitch.
Come on, Twitch is always rock solid.
Do you know what's going on this weekend?
I have no idea what is going on this weekend.
StarCraft 2's World Championship Series is having their regional finals this weekend. And I'm not done. They're also having the biggest tournament in Dota 2 right now.
They've been doing a lot of Dota recently, like the past few weeks.
There's $2.8 million in for that Dota tournament alone up for grabs. So you're gonna have hundreds of thousands of people watching on Twitch. My little old stream with 40 people is not, for them.
Surprised that we're getting anything at all then.
Well, it's because I don't pull much bandwidth comparatively to the Blizzard or Valve games.
Yeah, well, that StarCraft, I don't know if StarCraft 2 is as big, but I know the regular StarCraft was just crazy. Like the whole country of Korea would be watching it or something.
Yes, you could actually watch it on regular television. Anyways, League of Legends apparently is also having something going on as well. Between StarCraft 2, League of Legends, and Dota 2 right now, there is almost 250,000 people just watching that.
That's just crazy.
Normally on a weekend we have maybe 125,000 people just watching something. Maybe a bit more, maybe a bit less.
I'm surprised my chat hasn't crashed then, because the past couple weeks we've done this, my chat has crashed. So maybe it'll happen. There's a few more hours.
Well, it's a couple of things. They may have rented out extra bandwidth or something, or done something to prep themselves for
They've
it.
been working on the chat thing. They basically said we're gonna make the chat work and then fix the other minor bugs that people can don't really yell about.
Yeah, and Metal Slime, I kind of agree with you. I don't really see the allure of Dota. It's just well, something I enjoy. To each their own, I guess.
I see what people like in it. It's not my type of game, and it's actually interesting for me to watch on some, not a whole bunch of it, but here and there, an hour here, an hour there. It's kind of fun, but I'd be no good at it. It wouldn't be fun for me.
Yeah, I guess it's just so far out of my normal range strategy that it's like turn-based strategy. It's just I just don't get it.
Yeah, and with that, I do need to refill my cup before Grimith gets back.
Yeah, I gotta go get something as well.
So that leaves me all by myself. Oh, jeez. $868. Well, is that what is that like? Uh, hours of Dota? Internet always keeps me company. Ah, that is a lot of hours. And the internet's no longer keeping me company now. It's just scaring me again. You're all the people in my head. I don't know what you're talking about the extra people.
Yeah, I was showing the chat how many hours of Dota 2 I have played.
Ah, that is a
I
lot of hours.
Yeah, almost 1,000.
Chaotic Idealism, Joseph's backstory is essentially his Dominator made him kill his sister, what would be his sister, and his sister was a little kid who tormented him for a very long time, like actually straight up tormented him, as only a vampire can, a Malkavian vampire can, for a very long time before he got changed. So that's why he has this thing with children.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry, I was going to answer Metal Slime Hunt, but
Oh, I was just going to say, Joseph's sire wasn't angry or mean or anything. She was a fish mouth. She had no idea what the fuck she was doing. She was just sort of loopy, and it was his sister, or whatever you'd call that, the one that actually tormented him. He doesn't hate children. He's has a very strange relationship with them. He wants to protect them while being a little bit afraid of, the child that tormented him for years.
yeah. And as for Byron's sire, she's not an asshole or a bitch or anything like that. She's just very old. She lost touch with her humanity long ago. It's uh, for those of you that played VTR. She follows the road of the merchant, which is like a path back then, and I mean her ideals are a lot different, and so she was more disconnected than mean. It's kind of she wasn't sadistic in any way. She just was distant.
Uh, Catocodilism, your question, why he's sleeping with the skulls. martyr complex. He would rather that he be possessed by the spirit, and he would half hoping that it can't possess two people at the same time. I actually have not gone over the rules of this edition's ghost rules. I actually haven't looked at them, and I'm probably not going to intentionally, just so that what I know is in line with what Joseph knows. So I'm Joseph's kind of half hoping that she'll jump to him instead, and even if she can do both, maybe it'll weaken her. At the very least, it gives him contact with her. That might be helpful. I honestly, it's just got to do something. And for the whole thing of whether or not she could be potentially killer, improbable. Yeah, I know it's improbable. I know it's unlikely. It's just idea. Possible. I see no proof that directly contradicts it. A lot of things that indicate, probably not likely, but nothing that currently says, hey, no, it's not. It's completely impossible. So for the time being, I'm just going ahead with it's a possibility, an unlikely one, but who knows?
Yeah, just curious, what is your, if you have to roll self-control plus perception like Marcus did, what would Joseph roll for that?
I'm back.
He'd roll, or his self-control perception would be 7.
You're not
Okay,
rolling it. It's the difficulty for the hauntings to take effect.
Yeah, that's yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, I was if I was figuring if she swapped over to Joseph, she'd probably try the same thing. Yeah, that's the same roll Byron would get, and I just noticed that with the roll Grimith made for the ghost before, it still would have been a week of nightmares for either one of us. So, fun times.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting to roll that well, but it's a possibility.
Hey guys, Joseph's not the craziest one now.
You're seeing more shit than Joseph does.
Oh, I'm hearing more shit as well.
You three ready to continue?
I am.
I'm ready to go, but I don't know about Marcus.
Marcus is curled up in a fetal position in a boat.
All right. As tends to be the case, nothing disturbs you all, at least not Byron and Joseph, while they are at rest during the daylight hours. But eventually the sun does end up setting, as it is wont to do. Byron, Joseph, and Marcus, I'll go ahead and take your blood point off, since I still have you in the darkness. Each lose a point of VtM as you all awaken mechanically. As for you, Marcus, go ahead and, suppose I'll, even though you're the doc, I'll just throw your token back here. Go ahead and make a perception plus awareness roll at difficulty 6.
2 10s.
Marcus feels, as he awakens, he was able to get better rest being on the ship for whatever reason that Marcus wishes to justify himself for somehow getting better rest here on the ship. He also feels as if while he still sort of hears random sounds and static and gets whiffs and hints of horrible events of his past, they're going to be there. And Marcus doesn't know how long they'll be there, but when he first had encountered the spirit, and she had, snarled at him defiantly and then evaporated. He had this whole sort of unsettling weight that seemed to come across his shoulders. And nestled here in the fetal position on the ship, Marcus comes to the sort of aware, just some sort of internal subconscious feeling that radiates out throughout his body that it's not there anymore. Like, she's not there anymore.
Little girl?
Marcus hears nothing.
Not even a giggle. Okay, that's spooky.
Byron, you awaken to your normal situation. No phone calls, nothing you missed or anything. And Joseph, you awaken in your new normal location of arising in a room that has 13 skulls with 13 scars inside of it.
Oh, he'll probably almost perfectly mimics Marcus's actions. He's kind of half hoping to hear a response.
Joseph hears nothing.
I'm sorry, I'm dealing with stream bullshit.
I think Twitch is continuing to go through all sorts of bumps and shakes after they absorbed all of that audience base.
Yeah, and this is going to be, this week and next week are going to be huge for them. They're going to have like hundreds of thousands more people watching.
The things Jordan does for the internet.
I sit on my ass and attempt to stream a tabletop role-playing game.
That sounds fair.
Well, Byron's not going to do anything too important. I'll just throw that out there. He's going to get up and, turn on the news, read a paper, and kind of wait for the phone to ring to see what's going on. And if he doesn't hear anything from Joseph or Marcus, he'll probably call up Joseph and see if he's heard anything from Marcus. But I'll leave that to see what happens.
Well, after a minute or two, Joseph probably would have given Marcus a call.
Marcus will answer the phone.
So, what happened?
I saw a cephalad, and I ran.
I'm hoping that it wasn't actually Sevalod. But was it?
It looked like him. It smelled like him.
And he didn't stop you or anything?
No, I kept running until I'm on this boat.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and just hope that it wasn't actually him because it doesn't sound like it was, from what I can piece together. I'll so you're on a boat now.
Yes, I'm on a boat.
You okay?
Still seeing shit, but I don't think she's here anymore.
Huh. Well, why don't you come down and we'll see if there's we'll see if there's something that we can piece together.
Alright, that sounds like a plan. Yeah, I can't fix the stream thing. It just keeps... I keep dropping like 25% to 50% of the frames. And then it says my streamer key is invalid.
Ah, well. Perhaps they'll have it next week, or the week after, or maybe never again. There was a generosity you've been giving them for almost the entirety of this session, so, not a session, but the entirety of the game.
Where did I start streaming? Like
Chapter
session
3.
3?
Chapter 3.
Yeah.
The session that David went batshit and crazy.
Yeah, I chose the right one to go in to start with. Anyway, Marcus will nod and say, yeah, that sounds like a plan. And he will attempt to extricate himself from the boat and make his way to there.
And while I'm just mentioning while that's happening, Byron's gonna call Marcus at some point.
Byron is going to call
Well, I'm
Marcus
gonna call.
at some point.
I meant Joseph.
Like, really,
Joseph.
now you're buddying other characters, Sean. This is interesting.
Joseph. I just said he mentioned it already. He mentioned that he's calling Joseph. Just put it out there.
Yeah, I mean, if you'd rather I call Marcus, I mean, it's just makes more sense to call the less crazy one, right?
Are you sure you're calling the less crazy one?
Byron doesn't know, and for the record, I don't either. So, whatever. We'll call the one that seems to be the most sane at the moment, which is Joseph. So yeah, Byron will call him up.
Hello.
Hey, heard anything from Marcus yet?
Yeah, he's on a boat. I'm guessing coming back. I don't know exactly what happened. It's a little hard to piece it together. I have guesses, but he says he's not hearing the little girl. So I'm going to see what I can do about getting her to respond. I don't know.
Well, do you need me involved in any way, or do you think you have it handled? I can easily come by. I guess you have Marcus coming by the church there?
Yeah, if you want to come by, I'm not going to say no, but I'm pretty sure I've got it handled.
All right then. I'm pretty sure that that you, Rayan, and Craig can handle Marcus. But if anything does come up, let me know. And if it does turn out that no ghost is with Marcus anymore, I think it might be a very good idea to keep our distance from the Majestic for the next few days anyway. Because who knows? I mean, do ghosts just disappear and dissipate? Do you know?
Something as powerful as her, I doubt would just disappear.
Right. Well then, Hmm. Well, let me know. Keep me apprised if anything comes up, and I guess I've got some things I need to work on anyway, on my own.
Okay. Well, I'll call you if everything goes to hell.
I'll be expecting your call within the hour.
Bye.
So what's Byron gonna go do? Just stuff? Venture stuff?
I have that's what Byron said, and I don't know if he had any plans. So
Let me look at the news here. So
he just wants to seem like. I mean, you never tell someone you don't have something to do, right? I mean, that's like the first rule of getting chummy. If something comes in, oh yeah, well I got other stuff to do anyway,
Right,
and
right.
so that's what Byron was saying, and so he might. And this is it's Sunday night, right?
Sunday night.
Yeah, he's probably, if it were Monday, he might go back down to the Lucky Ace or something and see if he could bump into Edward again. But since it's Sunday, I guess he will, maybe he will try to practice his Auspex breathing exercises on his own, or, divide that with going through finances and stuff and just seeing. He just did it 2 nights ago, but he's going to do it again. Why not?
All right. It takes Marcus some time, but through how does Marcus get to Flushing? Does he just walk? What does he do?
Well, he will attempt to walk. If that proves ill-advisable, he'll catch a cab or something.
I mean, it'll just take time. That's all.
Yeah, he'll just walk then.
Okay.
Try not to go crazy from seeing things.
Hmm. Every now and then there's a twitch or a twinge. Walking along the street, he'll suddenly be crushed with a wave of depression as he realizes it's been so many years since he's gotten a heroin fix. It'll fade away quickly. Or, he'll have another sensation of machine gun fire and think, he's being mowed down and riddled with bullets, and he'll think, wait, I'm a fucking vampire. Fuck your bullets. It ends up being, shit. I'm not exactly sure where the ship is located on this map. I'm not sure whether that's something, shit, it probably is something Aaron told me and I just fucking forgot.
I thought it was,
I want to say College Point, but I don't know.
I was thinking something on College Point as well. It was either in College Point or it was in, like, the East River near Steinway.
I think it was, I think he said it was just south of Astoria Estates in that little inlet there, but maybe I'm wrong.
That, I don't know.
I'm probably wrong. I probably just made it up in my head or something.
It sounded cool. We'll go ahead and say it takes you, Marcus might end up turning the walk to a brisk jog to a run. It takes him a solid hour to get to downtown Flushing because of how quick and fast the Celerity individual is. It's there around, after he took care of his initial waking up process around 11:17, 11:18 p.m.
He'll knock on the church door, try not to, sound anxious.
Well, just during that time, Joseph will have wanted to in the storage room, set the skulls out so they're not within easy reach of the door. And he'll go and open the door for Marcus.
Okay.
You wanted to see me?
Yeah, you still not hearing the girl?
But I'm still seeing shit.
Well, the seeing shit, that sounds like something I recognize. That said, I'm not sure how she's doing it. Well, uh, go ahead and come with me, and they'll have Craig and Rain there with him too. When he shows Marcus into the storage room.
Okay.
Okay. Marcus then walks into the storage room, and for the first time he sees a collection of, looks like 13 skulls sitting in various locales, each with a sort of dust-covered but nevertheless colorful, perhaps even could have been pretty once upon a time, a scarf next to it. Marcus has never seen these before.
What the hell is this?
No response from the little girl? No, nothing in your head?
Nope.
Well,
Although if you're starting to collect skulls of little children, I have some questions to ask you.
I'm guessing that one of them may be the little girl. We found them in the Majestic, behind a hidden wall, just before you ran off.
Yeah. So I ran off. That could be just a coincidence, right?
Do you think it's a coincidence?
I don't know. I don't know. There's a lot of things that could be construed as coincidences since I've become a vampire.
My first guess would be that very few of them are actually coincidences.
Is this the storage area you're talking about by chance?
Yes.
Okay. I can put skulls in there.
So now I'm gonna have my map decorated with skulls. Yay.
Yep.
Children's skulls at that.
Let's see. Gotta add Rain and Craig as well. Oh yeah, I forgot they were already on this map. Silly Grimith. And we go ahead and put down the skulls. You guys can keep talking.
Um, I was, well, I can't really say hoping, but, thinking that, maybe that we'd be able to get some kind of reaction or some kind of something to indicate some connection. But if she's just out and disappeared, well, um, I'll just.
Marcus will shrug, saying, she looked like she was slit. All these skulls look like they've been,
Well,
the
you
throat was
said,
slit.
yeah, you said her throat was slit. That's,
All these
That,
children look like they've had their head caved in, right?
yeah, with a cylindrical object. Some kind of lead pipe, bat, hard to tell. Um, hmm,
I mean,
that
it's
is
certainly
true.
possible that their, throats may have been severed and just, that's just missing out, or, you know, while, Joseph, is knowledgeable from his years of police investigation, it's not like he would be, perhaps capable of identifying, like, marks along the bone itself, like, yep, that's where a knife pressed against it, it totally cut the head off and slit the throat. He wouldn't know.
That said, that wouldn't even really show up on a skull. Is it both upper and lower jaw, or
Uh,
upper skull and lower and jaw?
Some do have the upper skull without the jaw, and some do not. Some are missing the lower jaw area. Despite having the same like fracture wound, not all of the skulls are in the same quality. Some are more roughed up than others.
Yeah, so Joseph will go ahead and lead Marcus out of the room.
Probably could have chosen, a less menacing skull than like this green terror. Just the first thing that came up.
Now it's gonna be decorated with skull. Um, yeah, he'll go ahead and say, well then, well we can't just leave someplace haunted. Well, what did you want to do?
My original plan, before David told me that was stupid, was to go down to JFK and ask a Giovanni to help us with this.
I guess it's an idea. It's not the one I'd have. Um,
It is a stupid idea, mind you.
hmm.
I mean, my first thought was, okay, I'm dealing with a ghost here. Who do I know, sort of, that deals with ghosts? The Giovanni. They deal with ghost and ghost-type things.
Yeah. Marcus and neither would Joseph. They wouldn't know like anyone off the top of their head because they've never gone looking. It's certainly possible that other individuals would exist in the city or in the metropolitan area. Maybe like some sort of person who's independent, who the Camarilla, someone in the Camarilla could theoretically go to. Wouldn't have massive strings attached because it's not like the Giovanni care about most individuals anyway. Unless, for whatever reason, you're so important to them that they'd care about helping you with the ghost problem. It's certainly possible, you don't know who it would be.
Yeah, no way to contact Giovanni, and even if we did, no way to give. So I have no idea what they'd want. No way to know where to look in the Camarilla for someone. Well, can try to look around. You'd probably actually be a lot better than at that than me.
I mean, we could always call Match. He's always got what we need.
You could certainly call Madge.
Oh,
I just don't know Match if will have ghost busting equipment.
Oh well, can't hurt to give it a try.
Well, Marcus will dial up Match. Right
3
then
rings.
and there.
Marcus!
Hello, Match.
What is up, my friend? How you doing?
Oh, it could be better, but that's why I'm calling you, right?
What is your pleasure for this evening, my friend?
This is gonna be a weird. This is gonna be a weird request. But do you have anything that can, deal with ghosts? Know anyone?
There's a pause. Ghosts, you say. What have you been getting yourself into?
Oh, you know me, sleeping in the wrong place.
I have this friend who knows a little something about ghost problems. But my friend don't just meet anyone. 2 G's get you a face-to-face. The rest is up to you.
So I'm gonna have to pay you $2,000?
If you want Match's help, and rest assured Match got what you need. Otherwise you wouldn't have called him.
You got me there, Mitch. I'll see if I can get the money, then I'll call you back.
All right, I'll listen out for you now. Match hangs up.
Match knows a guy, but he doesn't talk to just anybody. It's going to cost us, well, me, $2,000 to just get a face-to-face with the guy.
Well, the question is, do we even need him at this point? Well, we'll see. I guess it's your choice.
Well, I really don't know how much money Marcus has on his person.
It's possible that, Marcus may not have fully positioned those investments into the Majestic whenever he acquired some funding after, retrieving the Heart of Icthoru on that run with Theo Bell. As you know, Marcus is lazy, and he has other things to do like drink and party and reminisce. And he may end up having the 2,000 laying around and just didn't get around to helping the others. He's like, it's my money, I'll get to it at some point, come on.
Yeah, I think Marcus will do this.
Yeah. I mean, you can also, just positing a thought, it is the first of, well, it was the first of the month the day before, so you might still, I mean, the business gives us all money, Astoria Estates, every month, so something could be worked out there too. So
Man, I just use my I just use that one resource that I have and not have it for a month, I guess.
It would clean you out, but it just basically like remnants that you had planned on devoting to the Majestic anyway, we'll say, that you just happen to have laying around and just hadn't given them to Byron or Evelyn yet.
Yeah, we'll work with that. So Marcus will say, Marcus will do to Joseph, I'm like, if the place is still haunted, or if she's, just is not hanging around me, we still have to get someone who can deal with her.
It's possible
Yeah.
that, given the sort of risky attitude it might be to water down, like, the assets you have, you might, if you want the money by, say, tonight, or even in a relatively short amount of time span, you, might have to get someone who's knowledgeable about finance, which Marcus would reason could be Byron.
I'm gonna have to call Byron, though. And with that, he's gonna call Byron.
Byron answers, hey Marcus, how you feeling today?
Slightly better, but I still need your help with something. You're good with finances, right?
Oh, yeah, pretty good.
I need you to help me liquidate some so I can make 2Gs.
Well, I can certainly do that. Are you sure you need to liquidate all of it? I mean, there might be a way to get you the money. I mean, I could float you a loan if you need it. How much do you
I
need?
really don't. I need $2,000, Byron.
Yeah, that would actually clean out what Byron has. He has he gets 1,200 a month because from the 2 Dotson resources he has now, and plus whatever stipend he gets from Evelyn. So whatever, he'll say, all right, well, yeah, that would pretty much clean me out, but I can definitely see about liquidating it. What money is it you need me to look at?
Oh, it's just some things I have left over and those stock options that Theo Bell gave me. Or whatever.
Those
Right.
various curious financial opportunities that suddenly exposed themselves after you assisted.
Right. Yes, those highly coincidental windfalls we got shortly after that. Yes, I remember them well. Well, certainly get on that. I think. I mean, did we each get different ones, Grimith, or were they all basically the
You each
same
got
thing?
different ones. They're similar, but a little different.
Yeah, I was just curious if you could know right off the bat what they were. But no, well, no, if let me know what they are. I mean, just bring over the information, and I can probably get that done. Get them liquidated in the next 3 to 5 days, if not before. But that's the longest it'll take.
Could you do a rush job and get it to me tonight?
Uh, Probably not. This is Sunday night. I'm going to need a.
It's possible. You'd be staring at, say, a Wits plus Finance difficulty 8.
Right. I mean, he'd have to call up Europe essentially, which he can do. But it's just yeah, it would take a while, and there'd be luck involved. I'd have to get a buyer right then. It wouldn't if I could get an actual buyer to buy it right at the moment. You might take some losses if you need it immediately, but I could probably get you a deal, yeah, tonight.
Listen, take your time doing this. I don't want you to screw up and make me lose all my money. Oh.
No, don't worry about that. It's just that the way the exchanges are regulated, if you put a sale up on the exchange, it goes through channels, and it just takes 3 to 5 days for the records to be formed. If the way to get it done faster is you go find a buyer, and then it's not on the market. You can just get it done right then. It just takes some luck to get that, and you might have to dock the price 5 or 10% to find someone willing to jump on it that quickly. But I mean, but it depends. You want $2,000? I'll definitely see if I can get $2,000 for it.
Listen, I don't know what the hell you just said, but do what you have to do.
Sure, and just off chance, you don't know of any libraries in this area that are open past 10 p.m., do you?
You'd have to talk to Joseph about that. I mean,
Yeah,
he's right over there for me. I could ask him for you.
Nah, don't worry about it. I was thinking about looking up serial killers at the library, seeing if we can figure out. You've seen the skulls by now, haven't you?
Oh yes, I have.
Huh. Well, you seem saner than you were, so I guess whatever Marcus did, it worked. Or whatever. I said Joseph, or whatever. You know what I meant. Anyhow, but yeah, do you want to drop off those financial papers at the real estate office? I can meet you there.
Sure, I can do that. As long as something doesn't try to kill me as I'm on my way back. But we'll figure something out.
Huh. Fair enough. All right, and with that, Byron will hang up, and he will head on down to Astoria Estates.
Marcus will leave Flushings and attempt to go to his new digs, wondering if he actually has the financial papers necessary to do this.
Sure.
Well, Joseph can go ahead and give you a ride there.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, Marcus definitely doesn't perhaps do like the stress of the situations. He doesn't quite remember, getting these papers at some point. But yeah, all the numbers and the vitae and the proper forms, procedures, basically like collections and confirmations and receipts and what have you. Stuff that you think Byron would probably need to attempt to cash out your options.
Okay, once Marcus has that, he's going to drive to Astoria Estate. He's going to, go to Astoria Estates. However he gets there, it's... If Joseph is willing to drive him...
Well, after he drops you off, he's got something to do.
Figured then Marcus will walk the rest of the way to Story Estates.
Okay. What is it that Joseph wishes to do after he deposits Marcus?
Visit the Majestic.
Okay. Marcus goes to see... Not Marcus. Joseph goes to see the Majestic. Alright. Marcus arrives at Story Estates. Byron has long since arrived and waiting.
Yeah,
Marcus will hand him the manila folder of papers. I think this is everything.
right. Byron's a little put out because he's had to sit there for 20, 30 minutes or whatever, and he'll say, "All right, right."
He's not a very patient man.
No, he was probably pacing and cussing when you came like, "Where is that dang Toreador? Frickin' crazy ass shit." But he's gonna barely nod. He'll just take the stuff and go through it and do the basic good. Looks like you have anything. This may take a few hours. You can stay or go. Up to you. And with that,
I don't know about you, but I'm really hungry, says Marcus, and he's like, I'm gonna go try to feed. Keyword being try.
Byron's already dialing the phone, and he gives kind of a perfunctory nod, and he's in Ventureland of finance at this point, so he's not hearing a word you're saying.
This process for Byron will end up taking about 3 hours for a money transfer to occur and basically be in Marcus's account where he could withdraw it and then use it as he sees fit. Meaning Marcus has basically 3 hours to play around, and we'll focus on Joseph after we do those dice rolls.
Right, and also if let's just say he's calling Germany or Austria or something like that, it's still going to be like 5 a.m. or something there, so it might take him an hour or so to get in touch with somebody, even so.
Yep. Anyway, your difficulty will be, well, it's normally 3, but we'll say the unease from your situation is putting you off end, so we'll say difficulty 4 for your charisma plus empathy hunting, Jordan. That's a successful hunt there for 1 hour. That's another successful hunt. And so is that one. Alright, Joseph Chung arrives at the Majestic, looking at about like midnight here, whenever he reaches the dilapidated ruined theater. Doesn't look like anything has changed, but it being now technically Monday morning, no one else has come in.
Well, first thing is to go down and see if anything seems to have been moved.
If anything might have been moved, it would likely be due to wind coming through the holes in the sort of shaky structure of the building. It doesn't seem as if anyone has trafficked in here. You can make a perception plus investigation at difficulty 6.
Oh, now I get all the high rolls.
With 5 successes, it looks like everything is as you left it. After taking the skulls with their scarves, nothing's come through to rustle or disturb anything at all, other than you.
Well, he has no idea what caused it, except for the sleeping here, so,
There's also
for the
some
time
rat
being,
droppings, but those aren't particularly interesting.
for the time being, he'll just, help clean up.
Okay. In that case, let's go ahead and get a Wits plus Finance at difficulty 8 from Byron Rand.
All right, super.
It's your time to shine. That is technically a basic success.
I got an 8. or a 9, whichever one you want to take away.
That is ends up being around the time we'll say about 5-6 minutes before Marcus ends up coming in. Byron with haranguing and haggling and manages to reach some German somewhere who loves money, and lots of arguing and haranguing and discussion about the options, and these options are so obscure, what the hell are you talking about? And listen, man, I'm just trying to get it happen. I got money to move. There's an emergency. I can't wait for the stock market to open up here. Can we just make it happen? More haranguing, haggling, consultations with people in Japan. The whole situation, and it gets liquidated down to a nice sized chunk where Marcus will have a little bit more than the $2,000 he needs, but ends up consuming that in the process.
It's fun.
Yeah, and it should be noted that Byron had a lot of fun doing this because he's a weirdo Ventru.
All excited about, yes, I made money. Like, it's like fucking midnight here. Yeah, I'm awesome.
I'm the boss.
I haven't had that much fun in forever, selling some last-minute options for a decent return. In 3 hours, I'm great.
That's it. He is certainly psyched. And so, when Marcus comes in, he will be beaming, and he'll say, you should have the money wired to your account. Probably not in time for you to use it tonight, but certainly by tomorrow night.